Did you know that having more choices actually makes us less happy?
What are you talking about?
Studies have shown that choice can lead to indecisiveness and anxiety.
Oh, you are referring to the paradox of choice, a theory built on studies that showed people were less satisfied when they had more to choose from.
That's right. Every choice involves loss, and therefore we should have fewer choices to be more happy.
That depends on your interpretation of loss. If I eat a green apple instead of a red one, you could say that I have lost the opportunity to eat a red apple, but since I do not like red apples, I do not feel like I have lost anything at all. If I decide to step on my brake when driving towards a cliff, you could argue that I have lost the opportunity to drive over a cliff, but I would much rather not do that. I could also change my mind about apples at any time and begin to eat red ones, so really I have not permanently lost anything at all, just picked one path which I want to take at that given time.
Well, we make choices with regards to what other people think, so we are not really doing what we want at all.
That depends on an individual's motivation for choice. Some people will choose whatever is popular at the time, but this in and of itself is a choice. Others will do the opposite of what is popular, and many are ostracized for it. Most of us are somewhere in the middle. The people in the middle find a balance of doing what society demands and doing what they want. This group in the middle is what sets a societal norm.
But there are so many choices that people always want to make the ideal choice regardless of what social group they fall into. With so many choices, studies have shown that people feel dissatisfied with the choice they make.
This is more a discussion of expertise. Let's say that you are trying to invest in the stock market. There are thousands of different ways you could invest your money, and many people wish they had done it differently after the fact. They may also hire someone else to make the choice for them because they do not feel like they can make the best choice. This is not a bad thing. They may feel dissatisfied or anxious about the choice because they do not have enough expertise on the matter. But with other choices they will not feel this at all because they do know enough about the subject to make an informed decision. Like me with apples. I do not feel anxious about which one to buy because I have tried most of them and chosen which one I like best.
But if there were fewer choices, then we would not need to have anyone make decisions for us at all and always be happy.
This newfound reduction in happiness is actually the mark of society improving. When there were less things to choose from, we were happier because if something was not to our liking, it was the world's fault for not being better. Now when we make a decision, we are not as happy because if we make a decision we might have done better. This transfers blame from the world to the individual, which can cause anxiety. But in the end, today with more choices we are getting a better product. Naturally, with more products that are very good, our expectations improve. So when we get a very good product, we have expected it and are not pleasantly surprised at how good it is. Or since the bar is so high, it is harder to meet it, and a poor product which would have been okay in the past is no longer meeting our expectations. So in the short term, yes, it could make us unhappier. But look at the whole picture. You are getting a better product than you would with fewer choices. I would rather have a higher standard of living than be pleasantly surprised when something turns out better than I expected, while most other things meet my poor expectations. People who are truly paralyzed by the number of choices available to them have a psychological problem and should seek treatment. It is not the fault of a society which strives to get the best product to the consumer that some people cannot make decisions about which product to pick.
But you cannot argue with the studies which show that people are not as happy with situations that have many choices as they can be with fewer things to pick from.
It is difficult to really judge how happy someone is. All of these studies are based on self-reporting. Subjects are told to mark their level of happiness on a scale usually from 1 to 7. Their choice of where to mark the scale is influenced by many factors. How happy is this person normally? How does that compare to this moment? How much emotion does this person feel compared to others, and how willing are they to express it? This method might work if people self-reported consistently through a lifetime and then the study covered generations. But taking a snapshot does not tell the researcher any of the other relevant information. Instead, we should look at standard of living as a guide to a population's well-being.